name is Richard McMahon from the psychometric testing website Pass My Job. Hello there, my name is Richard McMahon from the psychometric testing website passmyjobtest.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to pass an IQ and aptitude test. So if you have one of these tests coming up, make sure you stay tuned and watch the presentation fully from start to finish, because I will help you to increase your scores significantly, and to achieve that goal, this is what I will cover. I will give you a list of IQ and aptitude test questions for you to work through live on the screen. I will give you tips on how to answer the questions quickly, and that must be our goal. We want you to be able to tackle the questions in as fast a time as possible, because that will help you to pass your test. I will also give you answers to the questions and full explanations, and I will also tell you about further aptitude testing resources you can get access to help you pass your job test. So there's 4 reasons why you should stay tuned. Now, first of all, what type of questions will you need to answer during your IQ and aptitude test? Well, you will need to tackle numerical reasoning test questions, English language test questions, verbal reasoning, abstract reasoning test questions, and mechanical comprehension test questions too. So that there's 5 different categories there that we are going to work through together today on this video. And to help you make progress, I'm going to get you to answer the questions under timed conditions. I'm going to give you a strict timer, and I want you to stick to it as much as possible as we progress through the questions. So the first category is numerical reasoning. Let's start working through some numerical reasoning test questions. I will put up a question on the screen. I will work through it with you in a slow pace, and then I will get you to try one so that you are making progress. Question number 1. What is 25% of 80? So it's a very simple one to start off with. My explanation to that is 25% is a quarter of 100%. Therefore, to get the answer, all we need to do is do the calculation 80 divided by 4, because that's 25%, and that gives us the answer 20. So now it's your turn to try one similar to this question. So I'll put the question up on the page, and there's a timer for you to work to. So question number 2. What is 75% of 120? And you have the time it takes that timer to go to the bottom to come up with your answer. Here we go.
Guys, as usual, just send the answers for this question. What is 75% of 120? Send the answers in the chat box, please.
Excellent. Well done. And I have put the answers to the questions in the description below the video for you. So check them out as you work through each of the questions. Now, that timer is relatively low. You will get a little bit more time than that in your real IQ and aptitude test. And if you find you need to pause the video to have more time, that is absolutely fine. And if you want to use a calculator too, you can do. Question number 3. What is 4/5 of 130? Here's my explanation. So 130 divided by 5, which would be 1/5, equals 26. So if 26 is 1/5, we need to then multiply that by 4 to get 4/5. So the answer is 104. And these are the kind of questions, once we become proficient in tackling them, we can gain really easy, quick marks during our IQ and aptitude test. So now it's your turn to try one similar to this.
Guys, before we continue this course, do you get these logics, this mathematics calculation and the formulas? Because the question will not look, the number will not be the same, but the question can be looks the same, right? So I mean, if lecturer explain this, you're supposed to note something somewhere, like this question regarding to the for 5 of the number, just you have to multiply with the denominator. Then after the result, you have to take the result and multiply with the nominator. I hope you guys will get the formulas, right? Okay, let's continue.
Question number 4. Here we go. What is 5/7 of 147? There's a timer.
Alright, guys, like this, it is the questions like the example lecturer was talking about. So you guys send the answers as he did the formula. Send the answers in the chat box, please. I can see the answer from Response. What about the others? Claudine, I can see you're also.
Excellent. So again, the answers are in the description below the video for you. Question number 5. What fraction is the shaded part? Is it A, 2, B, 1 3/4, C, 1 1/2, D, 1 1/4? So if we start on the left, we can see that shaded part there is 4/4. Okay, so that makes up 1, 4 out of 4. And on the other one is 3/4, 3 shaded parts out of 4, so that's 3/4. So the correct answer is we add those together is B, 1 3/4. Very simple. So now it's your turn to try one. Question number 6. What fraction is the shaded part? Is it A, 3 1/4, B, 2 3/4, C, 2 1/2, or D, 2 1/4? And you have the time it takes the timer to go to the bottom to come up with your answer.
Send the answers, please, in the chat box as well. Send the answers in the chat box as well.
Brilliant. Well done. And as I said before, the answers are in the description below the video for you. The next question, number 7. Let's make it a little bit more difficult. A vehicle is listed for sale at £17,500. The salesperson then offers you a 5% discount. How much is the car reduced by? Now, this is the important thing. Don't make the mistake that a lot of people do, is not reading the question correctly. That last bit is important. How much is the car reduced by? Not how much does the car cost, but how much is it reduced by? Is it A, 16,625, B, 875, C, 900, D, 8,750, or E, 925? So to calculate this, 17,500 is the list price. Divided by 100 to get 1% is 175. We then multiply 175 by 5 to get the 5% discount. So therefore the answer is 875. Don't forget to read the question. Very important. So now it's your turn to try one and make sure you read the question. Here we go. Question 8. A vehicle is listed for sale at $19,000. The salesperson then offers you a 9% discount. How much does the car cost now with the 9% discount taken off? Is it A, $1,710, B, $1,729, C, $19,170, D, $1,720, or E, $17,190? Here's the timer.
Send your answers, please, in the chat box.
Excellent. I hope you're enjoying these. Please don't forget, give the video a like if you're enjoying it. I appreciate your support, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Let's now move on to English language test questions. So, question number 9. Which one of the following sentences is grammatically correct? A. I wishes you the very best of luck. B. Our holiday has been postponed. C. The government is implementing a new law today. Or D. It is difficult to understood my teacher.
Guys, before continue to this English language test, I have to make something clear. In a Pragatii examination, English language test is known as verbal aptitude, and it is about 40 marks. It means that the English language test is out of 40 and mathematics is out of 20. Means that if you pay attention to this English language test, we'll be having more chance to win scholarship. You can get more than 36 marks out of 40, which means that you have to pay attention for English test or verbal test. Because if we make seriously study on the English test, you study it well, you can get 20 out of 30, then 30 plus 20, it is 50 out of 90. And 50 out of 90, directly you won a scholarship. You understand, guys? Make this as a notice. Okay, fine. Let's continue.
Well, if we break them down, we can see that I wishes you the very best of luck is not grammatically correct. It should be I wish you the very best of luck. Our holiday has been postponed. That's wrong. It should be our holiday has, H-A-S. And D, it is difficult to understood my teacher is not grammatically correct. It should be it is difficult to understand my teacher. Therefore, the correct answer, the government is implementing a new law today. C is the correct answer. So now it's your turn to try one similar to this English language test question. Question number 10. Which one of the following sentences is grammatically correct? A. Please write your name and address on the letter provided. B. Every day he bring me flowers. C. Our teacher was off sick today. And D. We are pleased to inform you that you have won a prize. Here's the timer.
All right, I see Rwigema want to speak something before we continue. So Rwigema, you can just unmute yourself and speak up.
Hello.
Yes, Rwigema, speak up.
We continue to English test. Hello.
Yes, yes, please.
Before you continue to English test, there was a problem that I have seen that everyone did to the last question of the mathematics.
Mm-hmm. To the last
of
mathematics, if you calculate very well, the answer should be E. You have to calculate.
Yes, that's I wanted to explain that because I see everyone said A, but the correct answer was E.
All right. The correct answer was the E to the last mathematics question. The correct answer was the E.
Yes.
Yeah, you should calculate later than answering very fast because we were just lashing. Most of students they send the answers a long way, but the correct answer was E.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other doubt?
No.
All right. So let me continue about this English language test. Okay, guys, send your correct answers. A, B, C. Which is of the following sentence is grammatically correct?
Fantastic. And don't forget, the answers are in the description below the video for you. Question number 11. This one's a little bit more fun. So we have to start at one of the corners and move in a counterclockwise direction around the square, finishing in the center to create a 9-letter word. So we can start at whichever corner we want to. And we have to go counterclockwise, which is calculate or clockwise or counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. We'll go on a counterclockwise or anti-clockwise is the other direction. So if we start with B and then go counterclockwise, we can add an A there, an I there, and an L there, and we get the word beautiful, finishing off in the center to get that 9-letter word, beautiful. So this is quite difficult. It seems easy, but it's not. So now it's your turn to try one. Question number 12. Start at one of the corners and move in a counterclockwise direction around the square, finishing in the center to create a 9-letter word. And you have the time it takes the timer to go down to choose your 9-letter word. Here we go.
Send the words, please. Send in chat box which word could you create, and should be having 9 letters. Send in chat box, please. Counterclockwise direction around the square, finishing in the center to create a 9 letters word. Be fast, please. I'm waiting your answers, please, guys. Send the answers in the chat box. Start at one of the corner and move in a counterclockwise direction around the square, finishing in the center to create a 9-letter word. Send the answer. Guys, send the letter. Dangerous. Let's see. Oh, congratulations, Irene. That is fine. Dangerous is there. Because we have to put here, we start from here, danger. Here we have to put N here. Yeah, it's okay. We can come like this. Then have to finish in S. It's okay, it can happen. Any other word, please? Guys, I'm waiting your answer, please.
Fantastic. And as I say, the answer is in the description below the video for you. Brilliant. Question number 13. Which word does not have a similar meaning to praise? A, recognition. B, appreciate. C, plaudit. D, silence. The correct answer is silence, because praise is to appreciate and to plaudit. But D, silence, does not have a similar meaning to praise. So now it's your turn to try one of these. Here we go. Question number 14. Which word does not have a similar meaning to belittle? A, criticize. B, downgrade. C, overrate. D, discredit.
Send your answers in the chat box, please. And in 1 minute, this class will be end, but they join the same link to continue class, because this link is for only 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, the class is just close up. After we again start another 40 minutes. So when the class just crash and they closed, you directly join the same link, the directory, without just lost. Means that just in 30 seconds, the meeting is gonna end. Directly rejoin again, then I will directly admit you all in class. Then we will continue from this question number 14. Which words does not have similar meaning to very true?
Answers, nurtures the yearning for more, and kindles the need to fulfill a quest. A reason to be. I think, therefore I am. In the chirpy green environment of this university, you touch base with immersive engagements in the domain of energy research, in principles of management, and in liberal thinking.
Say they slack their duties and pour our treasures into foreign labs.
You know, it can't get better than this. A real estate of academic empowerment, named after a great thinker, activist, and humanist, Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University. PDPU appreciates that education in the 21st century has stepped out of the classroom, with technology redefining the dynamics of learning. The seeker of knowledge at PDPU values dialogue, debate, fieldwork, live projects, empirical engagements, industry internships, international exposure, multidisciplinary experiences, capabilities which are honed to help one dig deeper. Look further, experience the pressure, change the tune, and go with the flow. In our B School, Engineering Schools, and School of Liberal Studies, which progressively came into existence in 2006, 2007, 2009, and 2010. Our 100-acre pristine and green campus comprises an integrated auditorium complex, more than 65 world-class laboratories, multiple centers of excellence, 14 hostel blocks, numerous cafeterias, food courts and gyms, great outdoor and indoor sports facilities, making PDPU an ideal mini self-contained university commune you can curl up in safely. The campus life warmly cusps the passion for higher learning. More than 30 clubs, intellectual, cultural, and sports actively complement lecture sessions and give a much desired holistic expression to life at PDPU. PDPU begins a journey for you, a journey which explores your individuality and gives it a reason to be, to get you out of your comfort zones, to challenge life and to celebrate it with flair. Welcome.
All right, guys, most welcome again in this session. Let's continue our English lecture as well.
To life at PDPU. PDPU
Question
begins
number
a
30.
journey.
Which word does not have a similar meaning to praise? A. Recognition. B. Appreciate. C. Plaudit. D. Silence. The correct answer is silence, because praise is similar to recognition. It is to appreciate and to plaudit. But D, silence, does not have. Here we go. Question number 14. Which word does not have a similar meaning to belittle? A. Criticize. B. Downgrade. C. Overrate. D. Discredit. Again, you have the time it takes the timer to come up with your answer. Here we go.
Guys, send the answers in the chat box. I can see only one answer from Cedric. I want the answers from you guys. Which word does not have similar meaning to belittle? Guys, I'm waiting you guys. Send the answers, please. I can see the answer from Cedric, from James, from Elvira. What about the others?
Awesome. Fantastic. Try another one of these. Let's see how you get on with another one. Question number 15. Here we go. Which word does not have a similar meaning to similar? A. Akin. B. Coincidental. C. Resembling. D. Contrasting. Here's the timer. Well done. And I think the important thing, before just quickly we move on to verbal reasoning test questions, the important thing to remember is the way to get good at these IQ and aptitude test questions is to carry out lots of practice. And I will tell you soon where you can get more practice once we've worked through the remainder of these. Verbal reasoning tests, let's take a look. Question 16. Which one letter can be moved from the first word to the second word to create two new words? So which one letter can be moved from the first word to create words? So if we move the G over to the right, we get the word groom, and we also get the word olden. So we're just moving one letter from the left word to the right to create two new words. I hope that makes sense. And the correct answer there is G. So now it's your turn to try one. Here we go. Question number 17. Which one letter can be moved from the first word to the second word to create two new words? Which letter will you choose? Here's the timer.
Send the answers, please, as well.
Brilliant. Here we go with another one. Question number 18. Which two words need to be swapped around for the sentence to read correctly? Which two words need to be swapped around for the sentence to read correctly? The elderly like to reminisce about their alive to not only make conversation but also keep their memories past. So if we move around past and alive, we get this. The elderly like to reminisce about their past to not only make conversation but also keep their memories alive. So now we have a correct sentence. Here's your turn. Have a go at this next one. Question number 19. Which two words need to be swapped around for the sentence to read correctly? Michael correctly fitting his safety harness after began his descent of the mountain. Choose your two words. Here's a timer. Excellent, well done. And I hope you can see by working through lots of practice test questions, it's not only fun, but you will get better at them because these type of questions will come up during your IQ and aptitude test. Let's have a look at another one. Which one letter will finish the word and begin the second word in each set? So which one letter, B, E, I, R, will finish the word and begin the second word in each set? So we have to decide which one letter from B, E, I, or R goes there and there to finish the first word and then start the second. So if we look at E, we would have the word there make and ears, and mare and envy. Simple. So now it's your turn to try one. Here we go. Question number 20. Which one letter will finish the word and begin the second word in each set? Is it D, P, T, or A? Here's the timer.
Guys, allow me to take the person and he will say the letter and he will directly explain which letter and why, right? Am I making myself sense? Yes. Let me get to Françoise. Françoise, which letter will finish the word and begin the second word in each set? And you will explain the words which will be formed from both sets. Okay, then. Now, Françoise, you can open it, or you can unmute yourself and speak up. Which letter? Françoise, can you hear me, please? If yes, turn on your unmute yourself, then speak up. Which letter will finish the word and begin the second word in each set? Françoise, can you hear me?
I'm
Yes or
still
no?
looking on it. Let me check.
We have only 1 minute for each question in
So
exam.
I'm hearing you.
All right,
So I'm
let's go
hearing
to
you.
Elvira. Elvira, which letter? Elvira, can you unmute and say which letter?
I said the letter is P.
Then if we put P there, which words will be formed? Means if we
For the
put
first word,
P here,
it will be hoop, and then the second pulp.
Isn't that enough? Right? What about
You need on the second one.
Mr. Yeah, if we put here P, means we'll go here also, we'll be having group and pod. Okay.
Yeah.
P can work. Is any other letter here? I think there is no other letter.
Brilliant. Let's now move on to abstract reasoning test questions. Here we go. Question 21. Which figure comes next in the sequence? So on the left-hand side, we have 9 squares, all with different shapes, and we have to work out from A, B, C, and D on the right which one goes there. So it looks very confusing, but there is a logical process for working out abstract reasoning test questions. All you have to do is start at the top left, pick one shape, and then have a look for a sequence. So if we look at that black arrow, which is pointed to the right, it then moves 90 degrees south. It then moves to the west. It then moves north. It then goes east. It then goes south. And it keeps rotating 90 degrees clockwise. So on where the question mark is there, that's where it will need to be. Now, this is an important tip. All you need to do quickly then is look at your answer options A, B, C, and D and see which one doesn't have an arrow pointing to the right, and then eliminate that answer option. So B is pointing down, D is pointing up. We can eliminate those. So it's either A or C. Now all we need to do is choose the other shape within each square, and this time it's a black dot. So it starts at the top right and then it moves anti-clockwise to the top left, and then anti-clockwise to the bottom left, and it moves around the square each time anti-clockwise 90 degrees. So therefore, in the shape we are looking for in the sequence, it would go there. That's not A. The correct answer is C. So you can see by following a logical sequence, we can come up with the right answer. We can eliminate which ones are not correct. So now it's your turn to try one. Here we go. Question 22. Which figure comes next in the sequence? A, B, C, or D? And you have the time it takes that timer to go down to come up with your answer. Here we go. Brilliant. Well done. Fantastic. If you are still with me, I'm really proud of you. You're making excellent progress. Keep sticking at it because your scores will improve. Here's another one. Question 23. Which figure comes next in the sequence? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to decide which one would come next in the sequence from the answer options A, B, C, or D. And when we first look at these shapes and patterns, they are confusing. But if we break it down in a simple process, we can easily answer the question. So pick one part of the shape from the top. So I'm going to go with the middle part, and you can see we have a black square with a white circle in the middle, and as we progress it then alternates to a white square with a black dot. It then goes back to the black square with the white dot, and then it goes back to that there. So in the sequence we are looking for one that has a black square and a white dot, because that's the sequence. A doesn't have that, so we can eliminate it, and D doesn't have it either, so we can eliminate that as well. So it's either B or C. Now all you need to do is choose another one element of the shape, and we will go for that checkered circle. And if you notice, as the sequence progresses, it moves counterclockwise 90 degrees. So it goes to the top, it goes to the north. So it starts off on the east, it goes to north, it then goes to the west, it goes to south. So we then need to find one which is in that location back at the start. So it's not C because that's pointing south, therefore the correct answer is B. And you can see that by practicing these questions and using a process of elimination, you can quickly come up with the right solution. So now it's your turn to try an abstract reasoning test question. Here we go. Question 24. Which figure comes next in the sequence? A, B, C, or D? And you have the time it takes the timer to come down to the bottom to choose your answer. Here we go. Fantastic. Well done. Okay, let's take a look now at a mechanical comprehension test question. Question 25. What is the missing label of the diagram of the wheelbarrow? So we are looking for that missing label there. Is it A, air resistance, B, effort, C, friction, D, mass? Well, we can see there that we've got the load, which is going downwards because the load will be in the wheelbarrow. We have the pivot there, which is the wheel. So which word, which label goes there? Well, if you think about it, you would have to lift the wheelbarrow, and that takes effort to lift it up. So the correct answer, the logical one, is effort, B. So now it's your turn to try one, a mechanical comprehension test question. 26. Which is heavier? Is it A, an elephant, B, caterpillar, C, both the same, or D, cannot say? Now you'll see that the elephant and the caterpillar are on a seesaw here, and that's the pivot, and that's the distance there. That is an important part of the question. Here's your timer. You have the time it takes the timer to go down to come up with your answer. Here we go. And I hope you didn't get caught out by that one. Now, the next thing to do, because you're making brilliant progress, is click that link in the top right-hand corner of the video. It will take you through to my website, passmyjobtest.com, and you can get instant access to more online IQ and aptitude test questions to help you practice. You can access these test questions on your smartphone, on your computer, your laptop. You can get full unlimited access to all of the test questions. There's loads of test questions on there, and it's the perfect resource for helping you pass any job test. I hope you've enjoyed.
Alrighty, guys, the first lecture is ended by here. I hope you guys enjoyed the lecture, and we are going to be faster for the second lecture before we end today's class. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Richard McMahon from howtobecome.com, and in this video I'm going to go through some IQ and aptitude test questions and explanations. So it's going to be a fun few minutes. Take notes as I go along, but also I've got a few questions that I'd like you to answer. So I'm going to go through a few samples, and then I'm going to get you guys to answer them in the comments box below. So there's a variety of different kind of questions. numerical ones, spatial reasoning ones, mechanical aptitude, and I'm going to give you a brief selection of those today in this presentation. So let's have a look. Which is the missing section? Okay, so we can see here the bottom right, we have the question mark, which is the missing section. So if we look at the shapes, now if you look at this directly, it looks quite confusing, but if you actually break it down and start in the top left, it becomes quite simple. So we see that there's a series of triangles and they're moving around each individual square. So we need to work out which one from these options comes here where the question mark is. So you can start working this out yourself. I'll give you the answer and an explanation in a second. So this triangle starts in the top right, and you'll see then that it moves to the bottom left. It then goes to the top left, to the bottom right, to the top right, to the bottom left, bottom right. So there's a sequence here that's going on. It's not just moving around, say, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and that's the kind of thing to look out for, but there is a repetitive sequence going on. So top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, bottom left, top left, bottom right. And you can see here, this is a good tip, is to look quickly where this one starts again. So you'll see here, the middle square, the top right hand triangle, the sequence is starting again. So it's a 4-step sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is actually repeating itself. So you can see that that one is exactly the same as the one there. So top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, which then means that this will be the answer. So the answer is C. Okay, so we're looking for a sequence there, and that sequence is repeated. Okay, so when you're doing this kind of question, IQ and aptitude test question, look for either sequences moving clockwise or anti-clockwise or repetitive sequences. So that's the first question. Question 2, this is one where you're going to have to add up times. Now, if we quickly read this question, it takes Martin half an hour to get washed and changed before school. Lazy sod. It takes him quarter of an hour to go downstairs and eat breakfast, and it takes him 1.25 hours on the bus to school. How much time does it take Martin to get ready and get to school? So what we have to do, these are the options: 2 hours, 1.5, 2.5, 1.75. It's quite simple, but what we have to do is to add up the time. So we can see there it takes Martin half an hour to get washed and changed before school. So it's 30 minutes it takes him. So I'm going to convert the hours to minutes because it's easier to add up. Then the next one, it takes him quarter of an hour to go downstairs and eat his breakfast. So that's 15 minutes. And then 1.25 hour for him to actually get ready and go to, sorry, an hour and a quarter on the bus to school, which is a long journey. So if we add all of those up, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour and 15, we get the correct answer of 2 hours. So quite simple to do. You just got to convert the hours to minutes, and then you get your answer. So the third one, which of the following sentences is grammatically correct? Okay, so we're starting to see a real variety here of IQ and aptitude test questions. First of all, we've had like visual shapes looking for a sequence. In the one before, we were actually adding up multiples of minutes. Now we're actually looking at sentences to see which one is grammatically correct. So, I wishes you the very best of luck. B, our holiday has been postponed. C, the government is implementing a new law today. D, it is difficult to understand my teacher. Okay, so what is the answer? Put it in the comments box below. So question 3, just put Q3 and what your answer is, either A, B, C or D, and do that now. So I'll quickly repeat that for you. Which one of the following sentences is grammatically correct? I wishes you the very best of luck. Our holiday has been postponed. The government is implementing a new law today and it is difficult to understand my teacher. If you think more than one of them is correct, please put that as well in the comment section below the video. So that's question 3 that I want you to answer. Let's now move on to question 4. Quite a simple one. What fraction makes up the shaded part? So we can see we've got 4 circles here. The first 3 are fully shaded, and the fourth one, there's obviously 4 quarters. Only one of the quarters is shaded. So the correct answer is B, because you've got 3 1/4 shaded parts of the circles. Okay, really easy, that question. Question number 5. Elliot has £1.50 and David has £2.20. What is the ratio of Elliot's money to David's money in its simplest form? Okay, so what we have to do here is because both amounts are in pounds, we want to convert both amounts into pence. So £1.50 is 150 pence and £2.20 is 220 pence. So now the ratio is 150 to 220, but both of these sides are divisible by 10. So we can round the answer down to 15 to 22. Okay, so the ratio is 15 to 22. Really simple. Okay, and the trick there is to make sure that you convert the pounds to pence because it makes it much easier. Let's have a look at question 6. Now, this kind of question is where you have to look at a sequence of numbers and see what comes next. So look carefully for the pattern and then choose which pair of numbers comes next. Now, the way to answer these is to look for the sequence, whether there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So if I start off on the left here, you can see I've got the number 27, and there's a drop of 2 to get to 25, but then it goes up to 87, which is quite random. Okay, it's quite a big jump. That's a jump of like, what's that, 62 of a jump. So we've got a drop here of 2, 27 minus 2 is 25, and then a jump of 62. So that doesn't really make sense. But then automatically I notice there's also another 87 in the sequence, and each of these are coming after the third number. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this tells me perhaps that the 87 is a repetitive number after every third number. 27, 25, 87, 23, 21, 87. And the reason why I say this is because these are descending these numbers by 2 each time. So 27 minus 2 is it, and then we've got 87. Forget the 87s for a second. 27, 25, 23, 21, 19. So that tells me that probably 17 comes next, and then 87, because that would be another third number. And there's the option there. So the answer is D in my view, 17 and 87. So just to quickly recap, forget the 87s because they're coming third. We'd need another number here after the 19, and then the 87 would come. So we can eliminate options A, B, and E. So it's either C or D, because it's 27, 25, minus 2, 23, minus 2, 21, minus 2, 19, minus 2 would be 17, and then the repetitive figure of 87. Okay, next one. Look carefully for the pattern and then choose which pair of numbers comes next. Okay, so 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28. What comes next? So again, I want you guys to work this out and put it in the comments box below the video. Just put question 7 and your answer is either A, B, C, D, or E. So the sequence is 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28. Which of the sequence, the pair of numbers A, B, C, D, or E comes next in the sequence? Please put your answer in the comments box below. Okay, question number 8. Now this is like a more of a spatial reasoning IQ test question. Which figure is identical to the first? So we have to look at this. So what I tend to do, instead of looking at all these 4 options, A, B, C, and D, which can be confusing, look for identical pattern shapes or sequences. So you can see here, if I look at the option on the left, you've got a circle which is white and a circle directly below it which is black. Okay, so that means if I can automatically take out 2 options, B and C, because if I turn this round anti-clockwise, you can see there that this is a white dot, and below it, or to the right of it, as would be in that case, there is the line. So it can't be B, and the same can be said for C. Directly below, where the black dot should be, it's not there, so it's not C either. Now, if it was A, okay, if we spin this round in our head anti-clockwise, it's not A either. So the correct answer is D, because if we move this round clockwise, the white dot is there with the black dot directly above it, and then directly to the right of the black dot is the line, which it is there, so that's the answer D. So it's about a process of elimination, looking for something which is obvious, and that's what I chose there. I mean, I could have chosen the, to the right of the black dot is the line, so it can't be A because that's to the left of it. It could be B. It can't be C, but it is D. Okay, so again, that would be an option for a process of elimination. Number 9. Now, this is another kind of question. We have to fill in, okay, down below, you'll see there's 4 words in their correct positions within the text. So many people do not experience the world of traveling offers so much insight, knowledge and experience of the world that it allows people to see the world from a whole new, which I'd say is perspective, experiencing the natural beauty and historical landmarks perhaps provides not only a memorable experience, but knowledge and understanding about the world we live in. This is quite a simple one. So travel goes there, perspective goes there, beauty goes there, and memorable goes there. What you might find as these kind of questions get harder, and I'll tell you where to get some harder ones in a second, it becomes tougher because some of the questions could fit in, okay, to each of the blank spaces. Number 10, which of the following is not an anagram of a colour? Now, an anagram, for those who don't know, is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase. So, if you look at that genre, could we create a colour by rearranging those letters? B, saw, again, could we form a colour, a word colour, by rearranging those letters? The same for C, cheap, and D is hatred. Okay, so I think A, we can form the word green. B, for saw, we can form the word rose. C, we can form the word peach. But D, I think that's an anagram of thread. Okay, so the answer is D, because it says which of the following is not an anagram of a colour. Now you have a go at this one, guys. Which of the following is not an anagram of a country? A, plane. B, chain. C, cereal. D, enemy. Okay, so, and E, slow. So I want you to put your answer, again in the comments box below, which of the following is not an anagram of a country? Okay, not an anagram of a country. So quite a difficult one, that. So you can obviously pause the video while you work it out, but don't forget to put your your answer in the comments box below the video. Put question 11 and then your answer. A, plane. B, chain. C, cereal. D, enemy. E, slow. And actually it'd be great, first person, if you could, the first person to actually put all of the answers of what each anagram is, I'll give you a free copy of our IQ and aptitude test book as a download. So the first person to comment with the correct answer, I'll send you a free download copy. Question 12, which group of shapes can be assembled to make the shape shown? So we can see that's the shape shown at the top. There's like a flat top triangle, and then there's sort of like a rectangle below. So could it be well, that shape at the top, the flat top triangle, looks okay. That's the same, but below, if we form these together, it wouldn't reach or make that triangle all the way across to the left. I can probably eliminate C and D because that flat top triangle is nothing like those. So if we look at B, that flat top triangle is the same. And if we add those two squares together, that will form that rectangle. So the correct answer is B. Question 13.
All right, guys. I hope you understand these 3 sessions we did. First, we talk about the IQ aptitude test in general. Second, we look about the verbal. We went to the logical. Again, we come to the aptitude test in general. Mostly, I hope you guys enjoyed the session. We remain 2 minutes to end the class. And if there is anyone who has doubt or question, you can raise your hand. Then I will give you a mic to speak before we end today's class. It's already 2 minutes remaining. Is anyone who has question, please? Cedric is saying that he's not understanding this anagram, right? So for tomorrow class, just we will start from this anagram. Cedric, don't worry, we will start again for this anagram and we will try to add more explanation and more examples regarding the 2 anagrams. Don't worry, just do a remind, because tomorrow also we have a class with you guys. Just we will start. All right.